Food on the go. Let me ask you, how many of you are vegetarians? Mostly. Oh, good.
But not really.
Okay, well, it was really fashionable. I was a vegetarian for 12 years, in fact, a vegan for 12 years, and a raw foodist for 2 years. But then my immune system went down. I mean, I couldn't get rid of a cough and a cold for a month, and went to a naturopath, and she said, Heidi, you don't have enough protein in your body. And before I switched to vegetarianism, I loved animal food, but because it was supposed to be healthy, I switched to becoming a vegan. And now I've switched back. And I'm glad to hear that you are not vegans either, which means then that I will, instead of starting with the drink, let me start with my very favorite fast food. And that is chicken broth. How many of you buy chicken broth, organic chicken broth, in a box? I know, I used to buy them by the case. But it is terrible. It's not...
It's terrible. Well, it's not, I had to do it myself, because otherwise I can't do it. It tastes nasty. I have a can or whatever package, carton.
Yeah, before they didn't even have organic chicken broth. Sorry.
That is terrible if you don't make it yourself.
Yeah, but the test of whether it's effective or not is whether it gels in the fridge. If it does not gel, then it's not real chicken broth. I don't know what they do to it, but they do something to the chicken broth in the process of manufacturing it. It doesn't matter if it's organic or not. It's not effective. It's not like the chicken broth that can cure infections and do all of that. So the most important kitchen appliance you could have in your house is a stock pot. I'm renting a house for 2 months because I'm here only for 2 months, and they furnished the kitchen and they had a stock pot. So I said, good kitchen. This is the stock pot, and I would recommend you have 2 of them because you're going to have to strain the broth into another big pot like this. Okay, so you start with a stock pot, and you go to Whole Foods or some source of free-range chicken. You need to start with a happy chicken. And what's a happy chicken? It scratches around in the ground, right? So best if you know somebody who has chickens, like an Amish family who grows them, which we have in Kansas City. But if you don't have any such connection with the farmers, then go to Whole Foods. And guess what? It's less than $1 a pound. So that's one thing in Whole Foods you don't have to spend your whole paycheck on. So 6 pounds of chicken backs. That's what you start with. So this is less than $6. And it makes a gallon of chicken broth. So this is for people who don't cook. Okay, you don't have to cook. You just have to be able to carry 6 pounds of chicken backs. Back from... Or crock pot. Yeah, you can use it, absolutely, a crock pot. But my crock pot's not big enough. I have a big crock pot, but it's not big enough. So I have to make I had to make 2 batches, and I only want to make 1 batch. So, oh my God, okay. I hope this doesn't gross you out. Close your eyes if it grosses you out. But these are the chicken backs. In Walnut Creek, at least they put it in a bag. Here they don't. No. Okay, so you take the chicken backs. I'm not going to cook it here, but you take the chicken backs, as you can see.
Show them. I'll show them.
Here's the chicken back.
Do you cook the bones and everything too?
Yeah.
Because the dentists, there's books written all over the world. Dentists say you can actually restore bone. That's how I grew bones after my face. We cooked with a little lemon and vinegar and got all the goodies out of the bones, and the dentist...
You are absolutely right. And this is my favorite demonstration because so many women are on calcium supplements.
Prevents osteopenia.
Yeah, how many of you are on calcium, or know people who are on calcium supplements? You can take too much calcium too.
Yeah, and it's hard on your heart, makes calcium.
That's right. That's right, and they don't know. The researchers do not know how much calcium we need. The women, in tribes in Africa that they've studied, eat the equivalent, 1/4 of the calcium that is recommended to us, and they have never had osteoporosis. They have big white teeth, they have wonderful bone structure, and they don't eat more than 300 milligrams of calcium a day. In Africa, there's a study in Africa, there are studies about this, and it's because they're eating natural calcium. And
they do eat a lot of raw yam roots, which is loaded with calcium.
Yeah, so it's natural, but who's going to eat yam roots, you know?
Right, so this is a case.
Right. So instead of that, what you do, in fact, calcium from animals is a little more effective than calcium from plants anyway. So you put your 6 pounds of chicken broth in the pot. You put, I did bring the vinegar, I think apple cider, is it on the table? Oh yeah. Here it is. Oh, here it is. So apple cider vinegar, or some leftover red wine if you're still drinking wine, or a little bit of lemon, something to acidify and draw the calcium out of the bones. Okay, so you put that, I won't do it now so I don't slosh around in the car, but just a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, then you take your gallon of filtered water or whatever water source, and you cover the bones. You cover the chicken. You turn the fire up, bring it to a boil, turn the fire down to a bare simmer. You can just see the bubbles on the top. Don't cover it, just put the cover on. I didn't bring the cover, but just so that there's some air coming out. And you leave it like that for 12 hours. 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours.
But you have to be careful if you're going to bed and leaving it overnight. You make sure there's enough water in there.
Oh, it won't. I just did that last night. That's what I do. Is I put it on before I go to bed, and in the morning, it's not even done yet, and the water has gone down like ½ inch. So you imagine the water all the way here. So it takes like 5 minutes. Well, if you count shopping time, it takes more than that. But if you bring the chicken home, you cut it up just like I did. You dump it in your stock pot or in the crock pot. You fill it up with water. You don't forget your vinegar, because this draws the calcium out. Or if you don't have vinegar or lemon, and then bring it to a boil. Reduce it down to a very light simmer and go to sleep. And in the morning it's done. Now, if you're a little more enterprising and you want